Did you pan me out here?
I am.
Okay, perfect.
I'm trying to figure out why the light's on.
It's recording.
With the spotlight. So this speech is entitled Life Lessons from Vera, and it's a motivational speech based on my grandmother's experiences and what she taught me. So, many of us, myself included, have fond memories of our grandparents from our childhood, but fewer of us have the chance to get to know our grandparents in our adulthood. If we are fortunate enough to still have our grandparents with us, we often don't have the opportunity to spend as much time with them as we would like. When we are young, we go away to college, and then life gets busy with work and kids, and before we know it, too much time has passed and our grandparents are gone. I was fortunate enough to be able to visit my grandma, Vera on a weekly basis for many years. And it was through these visits that I learned about living life with grace and acceptance, the importance of laughter, and the value of friendship, life lessons that I carry with me today. Grandma was born on a farm here in Adams County on July 25th, 1919. She married in 1939 and had the first of her 6 children shortly before the start of World War II. She grew up during the Great Depression, started her family during the Second World War, and saw countless changes in society and technology in her lifetime. And she experienced loss. Her husband, my grandfather, died from cancer when she was 54. Her brother was killed in a well drilling accident, and she outlived a daughter, a granddaughter, a daughter-in-law, and a son-in-law. I asked Grandma once which was worse, losing a loved one suddenly or after a prolonged illness. She responded by saying, "There is no difference. Grief is grief, and loss is loss, no matter how it happens. But it is part of life, and you just keep going." One of Grandma's greatest strengths was the grace with which she accepted what life handed her and her ability to carry on with living. Even though Grandma had experienced the loss of many loved ones, she maintained her sense of humor. I love to tease Grandma about how frugal she was, finding uses for things that most people would throw away, especially her use of old nylon stockings. She cut the tops off of them and used them as rubber bands. Grandma took my teasing in stride, and she responded by sending me every article she found in newspapers and magazines about household uses for old pantyhose. I still have all those articles she sent me over the years, and they still make me smile. Grandma taught me that it is just as important to laugh at yourself as it is to laugh with others, and that laughter makes the hard times more bearable. One of Grandma's greatest gifts was that of friendship. There were many visitors in her house, and all received a warm welcome and a cup of coffee or a glass of iced tea over a visit, but her closest friend was Wilhelmina. The two of them lost their husbands about the same time, and they supported one another through their grief. They traveled all over the United States together, but their best times were probably spent on their numerous spontaneous drives around Adams County and the surrounding area. They never needed an occasion or a specific destination to take off on an adventure. They might start out with an errand over to Wood River and come home to Hastings hours later via St. Paul. Their friendship ran deep and was a source of comfort and enjoyment to my grandmother for many years. Grandma passed away 2 years ago, and I miss our visits dearly. But I carry her and the lessons I learned from her with me through the memories of our visits together. Life isn't always easy, and it doesn't always go the way we would like, but graceful acceptance helps to come to terms with and find peace amid difficult situations. Laughter, even at your own expense, brings joy to life, and time spent with friends is good for your soul and keeps you young. If you have any doubt about any of these lessons, just look at my grandma. It worked for her for 97 years.